Hello, this is Leith McCombs. Welcome to Pitch, the third episode of my singing skills series. Now, pitch is the note that you sing. So when we talk about pitch, you're either in tune or out of tune based on the other pitches around you and on the melody that you're trying to sing or the harmony you're trying to sing. Now, most people can generally hear a melody and match it fairly well, but some people have some trouble with that. And even some advanced singers end up having trouble with pitch as they change certain aspects of their technique. So we're going to look at, first off, some basic things you can do as you progress as a singer, and then some specific things for more remedial challenges if you're someone that pitch matching does not come easily to. So the first thing that I want to get into with pitch is, how do we hear it? How do we even know what note we're singing? What is sound? Sound is the vibration of a medium. When we hear someone else singing, we hear the vibration that they are causing in the air. When we hear ourselves singing, we're hearing mostly the vibration we're causing in our own jawbone. And moving through a different medium changes the sound. And often changes the pitch and the color of the sound as well. So one of the most useful tools that you have for that is your own hand. If I make a cup with my hand and I place the palm of my hand so that it's right around center line with my mouth, and then sing into that, that sound reflects into my palm and then bounces off my palm into the cup at the ends of my fingers and bounces from there into my ear. And that lets me hear, more or less, the sound I'm making through the medium of air. So if I sing a note, ah, I know exactly what note that is. I know exactly the note that other people are hearing. Naturally, if you're giving a performance, you don't want to be standing here like this the whole time, but you don't have to. Because our ears hear sound differently through our jaw than through the air, our brains have to adapt, and our brains naturally adjust to the pitch they hear and how we perceive it. So just by practicing singing notes here, you're teaching your brain how to match this sound to what other people are hearing, so that you can, by the intention of singing a note, sing that note into the air instead of singing that note into your jaw. Now, for advanced singers, intermediate and advanced singers, this is particularly a challenge when we are changing our technique, when we're singing something very heavily, or we're singing in a range we don't use a lot. Any of those scenarios can get our hearing brain into a place where it's not as experienced, not as practiced, and it can misjudge a bit. So you want to periodically, especially as you're making changes in your technique, you want to periodically bring that back and test your thing. I'm going, okay, I'm working on this way of coloring my tone in this register. Go, that's different than how I normally sing it. What does that really sound like? Oh, okay. And you also want to practice it with songs. The other thing that can tend to throw us off is big jumps in the line of a song, or sometimes moving up, moving down. We might tend to move up a little too short and move down a little too far, and end up over the course of a song. You might start it in A major and end it in A flat major without meaning to. It happens. Even to highly experienced singers, it happens. So those are places where you want to check that. The other tool you have at your disposal is your phone, among other things. You can, of course, record yourself. And when you're doing recording to check your technique or check your pitch, it's good to just do a short phrase, like 4 to 8 bars, no more than 10 or 15 seconds of singing. Record that, listen to it, and go, does this sound the way I think it sounds? Oh, that's what I sound like? Is this the right pitch? Am I getting the notes right? You go, oh, I'm flat there. I need to shoot a little higher there than I think I do. And then go back and try again a couple times until you have it, until you can do it reliably. The other handy tool on your phone is your tuner. I assume if you're a musician, you probably have downloaded a tuner app at some point. If you haven't, you probably should. And you can, in fact, sit there with the tuner and go, no, I'm going to try to sing an A. Okay, I don't have a tuner. I have no idea what note I just sang. Let's pretend that's an A. And you go, oh, that's a little sharp. There it is. There's the A. And you can practice that way. That's more for keeping a tone where you think it should be, and then for finding a tone, generally. So mostly your hand and recordings are going to be your easiest tools there. Now, if you have a little more trouble with carrying a tune, there's another, you have to train your ear. You have to train, we talk about training your ear. You're not training your ear. You're training the hearing part of your brain. And the way you do that, the easiest way to do that, is with an instrument or with another sound source. I like to use a guitar, an acoustic guitar specifically, because it has a character of sound that fairly closely matches a male voice. That works well for me. Oboes and bassoons can work well, but obviously you can't sing while playing one. So you have that on your electronic keyboard or on your computer. But just taking a sound and on an instrument or other source, and then going, okay, dum, is on my guitar, and then I'm going to sing that note. You go, now I'm going to sing that note again. Am I still singing that note, or am I actually singing something a little off from there? Because when you're doing this, and you can still hear the note from your source, then you can match them. And gradually practice that, and then you can start taking your hand away and match them just by ear. Go, dum, there it is. I feel the vibration matches. And you work on your pitch interpretation that way. As you get more comfortable with it, you want to start doing things like working intervals. So if I have a song that goes, if I'm going to sing Three Blind Mice, okay, I'll play that on my whatever instrument. Dum, dum, dum. I go, ah. Doing it like that is more of a challenge because you don't have the first note in the air anymore to compare to. You have to do that from memory. Or play just the first note. Dum, and then from there go, ah, and then immediately play it. Dum, dum, dum. How well did they match? Ah, and hold that last note and play that last note. Ah, dum. Oops, I was flat. So you correct yourself. And those are tools that I know that you can use to improve your own ability to carry a tune. I can't teach you to carry a tune, but hopefully now you can teach yourself. And The other, I didn't have this on my outline, but I want to add an exercise or a couple of exercises that you can use to help your pitch control. So for intermediate and advanced singers, or for people who generally are pretty comfortable with pitch, one of the places where it gets most challenging is with large vocal leaps. Arpeggios are an excellent tool for that. So if you do arpeggios slowly, and you're listening carefully and you have a good sense of pitch, you can probably nail those pretty consistently. But if you do them short, it's a lot harder. I was not on pitch for that. Better that time. That is a thing you can do to improve your pitch in places where it might be weak. And doing that in larger leaps. Got it again. Will help you improve those difficult jumps. It's pretty straightforward. You practice on them to improve them. And I think for people at the more remedial level, I've given you plenty of exercises just involving an instrument, and really those are the ones you need to be doing right now. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll see you at the next lesson.